Okay, so you're ready to create an online course, share what you know, and, hopefully bring in some income. That's awesome. But I know it can be overwhelming trying to figure out what to even create your course on.
Yeah, finding the right niche can be a challenge.
Exactly. But luckily, we have Marisa Murgatroyd's 20 Profitable Mega Niches PDF to help us out.
It's a great resource.
It really is like a treasure map for anyone wanting to create a successful course.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today, right? Like, how can we use this PDF to find that perfect niche, that sweet spot that aligns with your passions and can actually make you money?
We'll be sharing some insights and real-life student success stories from Murgatroyd's own programs.
So you can see what's actually possible.
Exactly.
But before we jump into all of that, let's clarify this whole mega niche thing.
Right, because it sounds kind of intimidating, right?
Yeah.
Mega niche.
Yeah. Like, what even is that?
Basically, think of it this way. Instead of casting your net out in the middle of the ocean and hoping for the best, a mega niche is like finding a lake that's already teeming with fish.
Okay, so it's about finding where the people already are.
Exactly. It's a large group of people who share a common need or desire. So, like, if you were to create a course in that niche, you'd know that there's already a built-in audience interested in what you have to offer.
That makes so much sense. So it's not about limiting yourself to just this one tiny thing forever.
Not at all.
It's more about choosing a starting point that has high demand, a place to launch your course where you know people are already looking for that information.
Precisely.
Okay, so are we ready to explore some of these mega niches from the PDF?
Let's do it.
All right, well, let's kick things off with one that I think a lot of us can relate to. Time management and productivity. Who couldn't use a little more of that, right?
It's definitely a hot topic.
For a good reason. It feels like everyone's constantly trying to do more with less time.
And feeling stressed about it.
Exactly. So it makes sense that this niche is booming. People are craving strategies to beat procrastination, manage their to-do lists, and actually achieve their goals.
There's a real desire for work-life balance.
And this isn't just about rigid schedules and those crazy intense productivity hacks.
It's more about finding a sustainable rhythm.
Yeah, it's about working smarter, not just harder.
Exactly.
Okay, ready for another mega niche that's all about enhancing what you've already got? Style and beauty.
Ooh, I like this one.
Right, it's about helping people look and feel fantastic. Think makeup tutorials, fashion advice, skincare routines, all that good stuff.
People are always looking for ways to improve their appearance and boost their confidence.
And this is a niche that's constantly evolving.
Oh, absolutely. New trends and techniques are emerging all the time, so there's always something new to learn and share.
And let's be real, who doesn't love a good makeover moment? Or finally figuring out what styles look best on them.
It's about owning your unique style.
Yes. And you know what else is cool about this niche? It's not just about the superficial stuff. It also encompasses things like understanding body language.
Stage presence.
Yeah, exactly. It's about empowering people to present their best selves to the world.
I love that.
Okay, so are you ready for a mega niche that I think is universally relatable? Health and wellness.
This one's huge.
It really is. I mean, it covers everything from weight loss and fitness to managing chronic conditions like migraines.
And everything in between. This is a mega niche because it's something everyone thinks about,
Yeah,
We all want to feel better and live longer.
definitely. But there are so many different ways to approach health and wellness.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to find your specific area of expertise within this broader category.
And speaking of finding your niche, Murgatroyd talks about one of her students, Giselle, who was initially struggling to get her coaching program off the ground. She's like the perfect example of why niching down is so powerful,
Oh, tell me more.
So she was super passionate about health and wellness, but her programs weren't really taking off.
It can be tough to stand out in such a crowded space, for sure.
Right. But then she realized that her sweet spot was in helping women over 40 manage hormonal imbalances.
And she niched down to focus on that.
Exactly. And she started using nutrition and lifestyle changes as her main tools.
That's awesome. And what happened?
Well, by getting that specific, she suddenly became the expert for that particular problem,
It's like going from a general practitioner to a specialist.
Right. People are willing to pay a premium for that level of expertise. And that's what's so cool about her story. She didn't just attract more clients.
She was able to charge what she was really worth.
Yeah, niching down helped her create this thriving business.
I love that.
Okay, so speaking of attracting your ideal client, let's talk about another mega niche: sex, love, and intimate relationships.
Okay, things just got interesting.
Right. This niche is all about navigating like the whole complex world of relationships, finding love, building intimacy, improving communication, even ending relationships in a healthy way.
It takes a lot of skill to guide people in those areas.
Totally. And you have to have empathy and like a deep understanding of human connection, right?
Absolutely.
And people are really willing to invest in this area of their lives because, let's face it, who doesn't want amazing relationships?
So true.
And this niche isn't just for therapists or dating coaches either, by the way.
Oh, definitely not.
There's space for like sex educators, intimacy coaches, people who help you heal from past relationship traumas. It's really broad.
So many possibilities.
But here's what Murgatroyd emphasizes. The most successful courses in this niche go beyond like surface level advice.
Because that's not going to create lasting change.
Exactly. So instead of offering those generic dating tips or like, those cheesy pickup lines, these courses are diving deep.
To the root of things.
Totally. They're helping people understand their own attachment styles, their communication patterns, all of that.
It's about empowering people with self-awareness.
Yeah, giving them the actual tools to build healthy, fulfilling relationships.
I love that approach.
Me too. All right, you ready to switch gears a bit? Let's talk about business and entrepreneurship.
Now we're talking. This is a big one.
It really is, and it makes sense, right? So many people want to be their own boss these days, set their own hours, all that.
Freedom and flexibility. Who doesn't want that?
Exactly. So naturally, this category is overflowing with possibilities, right? Starting and scaling a business, marketing, branding, social media.
It's amazing how much it encompasses.
But there's also a ton of competition.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So in this mega niche especially, it's even more important to find what makes you different, stand out from the crowd.
And Murgatroyd has a good example of this, right? With Nathan.
Oh, Nathan's story is so good. So he had all this experience, right? Like 25 years in the tech industry, but he was trying to create this really broad course on digital marketing, and it just wasn't working.
I bet it felt like he was getting lost in the sea of other digital marketing courses.
Exactly. And then Murgatroyd encouraged him to get like hyper specific.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Right. So instead of this generic digital marketing course, he completely refocused his course to be about this one really specific software.
Was it software that he used in his tech job?
Yeah, exactly. And it was software specifically for e-commerce businesses.
So smart. He was able to take his knowledge and really target a specific niche.
And it totally worked because suddenly he wasn't just another digital marketing guru, He was the expert in this very specific thing that these e-commerce businesses desperately needed.
Talk about niching down for the win.
Seriously. And, I think Nathan's story is a good reminder that it's not just about like picking a mega niche from a list.
It's about finding the intersection of your expertise, your passion, and what people are actually willing to pay for.
Yes. And, when you find that sweet spot, you can make a real impact and, potentially make some good money while you're at it.
Exactly. It's about creating something valuable for others and for yourself.
Okay. Ready for one last mega niche before we wrap things up? Let's talk about nonprofits and social responsibility.
Ooh, okay. So important.
Right. We're talking about courses on fundraising, grant writing, community organizing, all about making a difference.
Empowering people to create positive change.
Exactly. And this niche is only getting bigger, which is awesome. It feels like people really want to align their work with their values these days.
Absolutely. People want to feel like they're contributing to something meaningful.
Yes. And this isn't just for, like, seasoned activists or whatever. Anyone can create a course in this space. You could teach people how to live more sustainably or how to use social media for activism. There are so many possibilities.
It's really inspiring, isn't it?
It is. And it's like the beauty of all of these mega niches, right? We've just explored 20 of them, but there are so many more out there.
And so many ways to make them your own.
Totally. But most importantly, I think what we've uncovered today is that to create a really successful online course, it really comes down to finding that sweet spot, that intersection of what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and what people need.
And don't be afraid to niche down. Sometimes getting specific is the key to unlocking your success.
Couldn't agree more.